Hi everyone, it's Jane Ferre here, a coach, as you know, and I wanted to introduce you to someone today who I've been following for a little while. So she is an amazing internal communicator. She has been posting ad infinitum on LinkedIn. She's got an amazing backstory, and I just wanted to share her story with you all today. So, take it away, Gihan. Why don't you tell us who you are, a little bit about yourself, anything else you'd like everyone to know?
Well, before I start, I just wanted to thank you very much for following me. I'm honored. So thank you very much.
Pleasure.
So who am I? I'm Gihan. I am an internal communicator. I started my career in marketing and advertising,
Uh-huh.
where after which I realized, okay, that's not really my passion. So I wanted to explore, and I wanted to explore internal communication. 10
Mm-hmm.
years ago, internal communication was a very small discipline. It was in its infancy. So I wanted to explore that, and this is when I really kicked off and I found my passion. I specialize in employee engagement, and especially during a time of change, whether it's behavioral or cultural change.
Right. So, you've had some amazing roles. What's been your most challenging role to date, would you say, Gihan?
Oh, wow. um, each role has its own challenges.
Mm-hmm.
Because I wanted to really be a generalist as opposed to a specialist in one sector,
Yeah.
I have decided that each role has to be different than the other.
Mm-hmm.
So, for example, and each role unfortunately came with massive challenges. For some reason, they like to call me when there is a problem and when there is a disaster. Not sure why, but thank you for calling.
Yeah.
So yes, I basically, for example, with Barclays, I was part of a department that was not as popular as the rest of the departments. And the challenge for me was to integrate the department and really engage its employees and embed the change that the bank was implementing. So that was a challenge in itself.
Yeah.
Whereas for HSBC, the challenge was the actual work that asset management does. So I was in charge of embedding a anti-money laundering digital change.
Yeah.
And I knew nothing about asset management. But if it wasn't for the fact that I put my hands up and I said, listen, I am very good at communicating. I'm very good at embedding changes, but you need to help me and you need to explain to me what you're doing. And this is something I like to do. I never say that I know everything. I don't. I always admit if I don't know something. And I always seek advice. So that was a challenge with HSBC. Whereas if you ask me about the Riyadh Metro project in Saudi Arabia, where I've just come back from, the challenge was different. The challenge was the fact that I was the only female among 30,000 employees who have no interaction with women at all, and who only go home to their countries every 2 years.
Yeah.
So that was a massive challenge. In addition to that, I effectively had 9 bosses I reported to. So even though I had a seat on the board and I reported to the board, unfortunately for me, if I had an idea, I had to get the buy-in from all 9. And if one of the 9 said no, I have to scrap the idea and find and hit the drawing board again. So to me, that was a massive challenge. But I was very proud of that challenge because I overcame it, and I was the first female to ever work in the sector. And we won the CIPR Inside Best Employee Engagement Award for my work. Amazing. So I was pleased with that. Whereas with the Department for International Trade, now that is another challenge in itself. The challenge was I was required to set up a retail sector in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
I knew nothing about retail from a business model point of view. So again, I used my communication skills, and I have to admit, if it wasn't for me being a communicator, I wouldn't have succeeded. Because I used the skills such as negotiation skills, such as communication, such as stakeholder management skills, in writing the policies, writing the procedures, and determining what the processes should be should a UK retailer want to come to Saudi Arabia and have presence in the market.
Wow.
So yes, unfortunately, every role I take on it comes with its own challenge.
Yeah, and just in terms of Saudi, so you were the only female on the board, you're the only female in the workforce, and you spoke a lot about the men would go home, but you have a lot of different languages and cultures, so that's a real challenge for an internal communicator, right? So how do you communicate with people who speak, I think you told me it's 22 languages? Yeah?
Yes, believe it or not, Jane, that wasn't the challenge.
Right.
To me, the difficulty was to communicate with the 60% who were illiterate.
Wow.
So how would you engage almost 26,000 men who don't read or write?
Yeah.
And who do not, who only speak their own mother tongue.
Yeah.
So that, to me, that was the challenge. But the way I overcame it is with being part of their life. So I went and spent time with them. I had a translator with me. I went in, I asked them questions on how would they like to be involved, how can we help them to be engaged, and what channels would appeal mostly.
Yeah.
And of course, without a doubt, video was the right way forward.
Yeah.
But if you want to know more about how I've overcome it, there is a couple of articles that were written, case studies that were written about my work in Saudi, which I can share with your audience if you wish. And that way they will read step by steps of how I overcame that.
Oh, amazing, amazing. And you've been back now in the UK. How long have you been back in the UK?
So I've been back for 1 year, where I was on maternity leave.
Okay, congratulations.
Thank you. Yes, I think it's time now to go back to the workforce. So yes, I'm now out of maternity leave, and I'm now in the process of locating my next role.
Your next challenge. And my next
challenge in the UK? Yes.
How can you possibly top your Saudi experience? What sort of challenge are you looking for right now?
Oh, there's so many other different challenges. It would be, to be honest with you, I would like to really explore using new techniques in internal communication. Unfortunately for us, our discipline is not highly regarded yet by our leaders.
Yeah.
So I want to now, my biggest task and focus is to utilize my marketing and advertising background in implementing successful employee communications campaigns, and specifically using data, using AI, using augmented AR, as they call it, but it stands for augmented reality, or virtual reality. So I really want to explore that in whatever role I get, should I get the chance, and should the organization permit it. Because if you're in a very heavily regulated organization, some of these will not be applicable.
Yeah, amazing. And I heard as well you've been doing some mentoring whilst you've been on maternity leave as well. So you've been kind of giving a helping hand to others. Tell us a bit about that.
So that's my second passion. I love helping people. I love helping people who are not yet sure what do they want to do with their career, where do they want to get, and how to get there. And specifically within internal communication. So I was very fortunate when I started employee communications. I was very fortunate to have people like yourself, for example, who I can come back to and ask questions and help me really get to define my brand and my strength. And I would like to give back what I was fortunate enough to have. So right now, so recently I have opened up the opportunities for communicators who either don't know how to get to where they want to get, or want someone just to act as a sounding board to, or explore new avenues. And I opened up for these people to come and call me, and we can meet, or we can Zoom like we're doing at the moment, and just ask questions and bounce, because I learn from them as well as I teach them. So right now I have around 3 mentees whom I'm mentoring. Yeah. And I'm definitely seeing the difference in them. And I feel like a proud mom.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not young, but I just feel like a proud mom.
Yeah.
So yes. So that's what I'm doing at the moment as well, until I find my next role.
Okay, amazing. And so if anybody has any questions, they can contact you on LinkedIn, or any ideas for opportunities and things like that. So yes, absolutely. If you have it, if you know of roles that are available and would need someone with my skill set and international experience, please do get in touch. And if you definitely want to be mentored or just to have a chat, by all means, please. I do like to chat. So please do get in touch with either LinkedIn or Twitter. Okay, and what's your Twitter handle?
Okay, so it's Gihan. So it's at GEHAN for November. Yeah. And then another AM.
Okay. So we can tag that in the post as well when we put the thing out. That's amazing. So Gihan, thank you so much for your time today. I appreciate you coming on and telling us a little bit about some of your experiences and what you're doing.
Is all mine.
And it's exciting to hear about your next steps.
I know, me too. I'm excited to hear about my next step as well. So yes, I'll keep you tuned in. Don't worry. You'll know about it.
Thank you so much.
You take care. Bye-bye.